I'm Tui. This is my wife Miley. We're Tui and Miley Letuli, the Hawaiian ambassadors for Princess Cruises. We have a home in American Samoa in Pango. We also have a home in Lahaina, Maui. And then we also have a home in California where some of our kids and grandkids live.
Living in the islands has been it's all about aloha and experience, and he actually spent more time in the islands. He was raised in the island of American Samoa. But living in the islands, everything revolves around ohana, around family.
Growing up, it's really funny because my dad, instead of building a modern house, he built huts, old huts, and we all lived. So my parents had a hut, my sisters had a hut, me and my brothers had a hut. So we actually lived in huts, and we lived off a beach. There was no electricity and there was no water. So we'd wait till we'd go to a well to get our water. Well, we've been involved in the culture for so many years. Growing up, her dancing hula when she was 4 years old. And for me, playing music as well, and dancing fire knife and dancing and playing music. So we've been involved with cultural arts and dances and luau's and so forth. So growing up with that, we get sought out, we get called for shows, we do, and then we get a phone call and they says, hey, we're looking for somebody that can do this. And we said, we can do it. In fact, we have a dance studio and music studio, which is called the Pearl of Polynesia. And our focus is on a lot of the kids to be able to teach them how to play ukulele, how to dance. She has her dancing classes. And I think one of the things that when you teach something, as far as come to dancing or music, principles and values are key to that, because you want them to walk away to learn something valuable in that case, in that lesson. I think there's a lot of people, they come for different reasons when they come on the ship. And it's you being able to communicate with them to find out what they want and what they need, instead of what we want to just give to them. And sometimes they're looking for different things. Some of them, they want to talk. So it's you being able to read their heart and be able to speak to their heart and feel something that's in their heart that day. Or when they leave, when we get letters from them or emails from them saying, thank you, you made our cruise, it just elevates us to pay attention to what they need in their life. And so sometimes it's a hug, sometimes it's a word of encouragement, and sometimes it's just a song, their favorite song. That's why it's like we have to learn a lot of the old songs that they remembered. It rekindles something in them that brings happiness. And so that's our job, and we love doing it, to connect with those that come on the ship. And the most important thing is for us is to share the aloha.
I don't think so much it's a teaching. It's more of a touching people's lives.
Yeah,
like
very true.
In a way that only the word is aloha. Aloha is we touch them in ways that embodies the spirit of aloha that comes to them, like Tui is saying, through different parts of life. Some are elderly, some are young, some are going through different stages of life. So some not so much teaching, but touching their hearts so that they too can go and share the aloha in their own little way, of life.
Once we're on the ship, we share with everybody. We're all ohana. We're all one family. So nobody gets left out.
Yeah.
So we try to touch everybody's, whatever, in every which way that we can. We never know. Well, for me, we have our ukulele class, and our ukulele class is called the Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua ukulele class, or I'll call it the orchestra or the symphony. And the whole key of the ukulele is it's a happy instrument, and so we want to, they say it's been proven that those that learn how to play an instrument can live longer because everything's in motion. Your ears listening, you're watching everything, your hands are moving, and it's really food for the soul. And so I always try to tell people that come and play ukulele that repetition is the mother of skill. The more you play it, the better you're going to get at it. And you don't really have to be great to get started, but you can get started and you can become great. And if they can take what they do here and take it out to their homes and to their families and sing happy birthday to the grandchildren, it's a beautiful thing. So we have our hula class. And so a couple years ago, we had a guy that took ukulele for the very first time. And the very first time he was able to say humu humu nuku nuku apua, right? So he takes a lesson. He comes to every class. When we got to Hawaii, he went and bought himself an ukulele, and he just loved the ukulele. And so at the end of our cruise, he was thanking us. Thank you so much. I said, okay, well, have fun. Didn't think I would see him again. We get an email from him 2 years later. He started his own school, and he's teaching ukulele.
In Italy.
Yeah.
For my department, I teach the hula and the dance of Polynesia. So I first off will be teaching hula, and I'll be teaching hula awana, which is the modern style hula, and hula kahiko.
Yeah.
I'll teach a little bit of hula kahiko, which is the ancient style of hula dancing. And the most important thing about hula, I teach them how hula is the heartbeat of the islands, and how that was how we passed our tradition down from generation to generation in the past before we had a written language. I teach them most of the major moves, the basics of hula dancing, which is ikekumu, the parts where they can at least kaholo to the right, kaholo to the left, and some advanced moves to kind of get them through. And I teach them the importance of how each move has a correlation to the dance itself and tells the story. So on the way to Hawaii, we're teaching hula, and I will be teaching both of that. And on the back end, once we leave Hawaii, I'll be teaching Ori Tahiti, the songs of Tahitian dancing, as well as Siva Samoa, which is the dances of Samoa. As I've been dancing since age 4, so I've learned, but there is one dance that I learned as a 4-year-old that I still love to dance. That actually is, motions have changed through the years, thank goodness, because I think when I learned it as a 4-year-old, it was very basic. But it is a song called To You, Sweetheart, Aloha. and it is an old style traditional song that actually has a lot of meaning, I would say. So that's called a hapahali song. That is, hapahali is where all the words are done in English. So it's half Caucasian, hauli means Caucasian. So hapahali. So that's one song that I'm love the most. The second song that I love dancing is Puamana. Puamana is a song from the island of Maui, which is where my tutu and my ancestors come from. And it was one of my mom's favorite songs to dance that I also learned. Those two dances that I learned as a child have kind of stuck with me. Motions have changed through the years, but from my soul, it just dances.
I would tell them, come on a Princess Cruises. Hey, you got to come on a cruise with us because you'll learn so much about Hawaii. And once you get to Hawaii, because you go to all these different islands and you learn so much. And so we do port lectures as well. We do Hawaiian language or Samoan language or whatever they want us to talk about. So we do all that as well. They can learn a lot because now, remember, there's no distraction. They're on the ship and we're what do you call it? Captive audience, right? So we're able to share with them the aloha spirit and a lot about Hawaii that maybe they've never known, and which will cause them want to come back. We've met so many people that have been so many cruises because they can't get enough of it.
Have a long period of time been able to show them first before telling them what it is, that to lure them, to bring them to feel the spirit of aloha, to bring them to the islands, because the islands draw people no matter what. So within our hula class, I always have, at the end of the session of the hula class, I have people, I kind of uniki them. I give them a little graduation type of thing. Whereas I brought them in, was able to teach them the dances, teach them, really allow their soul to immerse to dance. I always encourage everyone to get off the island and dance, so that way you can feel the mana of hula, of what it's not just motions, it's from here. And I share them I have them go and I give them an uniki so they can go and now it's your turn to go and pass it on to the next person, because you never know whose lives it's going to touch. So I believe that is, rather than telling somebody about it, yes, I can do like a 30-minute commercial and it may fall on their heart, it may fall on their mind, or it may not. But being able to display what aloha and what the island has to offer is probably a better commercial than anything in itself right there. So after our uniki, when I shared, I tell people, now you have been immersed with the spirit of aloha. Now it's time for you to go. And I encourage everybody to go in their own circle, in their community, to share hulas. If you are invited to a senior citizen center, go. And you can play music. And the reason why is we always do shows. If we're available, we go and we play music, no matter what. And one time we did this full show, Tahitian dancers drumming and everything, and there's this woman in the front just singing, dancing. She knew all the songs. And so after I saw her and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I went up and I spoke to her after. I said, oh, you knew all the songs? She goes, oh yes, I remember. And she had these memories of when she was a young girl. She goes, when I was young, we used to go to Hawaii and I knew all those songs. I learned how to dance those songs and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I said, what's your name? She goes, oh, Mary Smith. And we just had this fabulous time when I was a little girl. Well, I didn't think anything of it. She walked away. Her daughter came back, bawling her eyes out, thanking us because her mother had not remembered her name for 10 years. The music and the dance brought their mom back. I don't know how much longer that lasted, but that brought it. And so I always share to our dancers, this is no longer just a dance. This is a mission for you to go and touch people's lives. Take it.
Yes.
And go. I go, fly, birdie. You're ready to go and teach. Go share the aloha, because that's what it's all about.